You're standing on the brink of a turnaround so vast you haven't even noticed. You sailed right through the hardest test, an examination heaven itself devised. Your struggles, doubts, and triumphs weren't random. They were elements of the biggest spiritual challenge you've ever faced, and you aced it before you realized you were being graded. Right now, watch for at least 12 minutes to show you're open. Like this, subscribe, and comment 77T to let the universe witness your readiness. Then leave another comment, ready for what's next. In a natural voice, by doing so, you'll trigger an immediate release of blessings meant for your next level chapter. Chapter 1, you felt the pressure but didn't recognize it as a test. Your life hit an unrelenting grind, maybe a run of disappointments or trials that forced you into corners you never wanted to occupy. Friends disappeared at your lowest point, or you faced repeated financial hurdles that made no sense. You may have felt singled out by adversity, as if the universe had chosen you to endure wave after wave of loss. You prayed, cried, and asked, "Why me?" But no immediate answer came. You thought you might be under a random dark cloud, or maybe paying some karmic debt you didn't fully comprehend. Each morning you dragged yourself out of bed, your head grappling with the tension in your chest. You tried pep talks, maybe a shift in your routine, hoping it would lighten the load. Yet the trials kept intensifying. Onlookers possibly saw you as strong, but you felt like you were hanging by a thread. Still, somehow, you made it through each day, forging small wins, like finishing a tough task at work or resisting the urge to lash out in anger. You chalked these up to grit, never dreaming that each success was a point tallied in a cosmic exam that soared beyond everyday illusions. At times, you almost gave up, briefly flirting with the idea that maybe you were cursed or fated to struggle. A stale voice in your mind repeated, "This is just how life is for people like me." But deep in your gut, you sensed that resignation would lead to deeper emptiness. So you fought back with an unexplainable resolve, mustering the energy to say one more prayer, attempt one more job application, or adopt one more healthy habit. Little did you know, each push reaffirmed to heaven that you had the perseverance to succeed. Looking back, you see subtle signs that it was never random. Synchronicities, repeated numbers, or fleeting moments of unearthly peace in the middle of your battles hinted that watchers were tracking you. They orchestrated these challenges with surgical precision, enough to push you to the edge but not break you. This wasn't cruelty, it was refinement, like a goldsmith applying heat to burn off impurities. Your watchers pressed you to see if you'd hold on to faith or let illusions devour your hope. You learned that real progress often hides behind illusions of chaos. If everything had gone smoothly, you might never have discovered the depth of your integrity or the surprising elasticity of your faith. Indeed, the hardest moments forced your spirit to dig deeper, forging intangible upgrades. Greater compassion, sharper wisdom, and a calm anchored in adversity. These intangible expansions were the hidden exam questions, each one measuring your willingness to trust a bigger plan. Now you realize you're on the other side of the worst. You suspect a release of tension, as though the final puzzle piece has snapped into place. A calm hush suggests the watchers are nodding, satisfied that you refuse to crumble under illusions. That hush is the first sign you've passed a milestone beyond normal understanding. God saw your quiet discipline, your battered but unshaken faith, and said, "That's the one who's ready for the next dimension." While you were busy surviving, heaven was busy scoring your performance. You never recognized the test, but you nailed every question. And that sets the stage for an overwhelming shift that's about to wash over your life. Chapter 2. You uncovered your true strength by facing the storms. With each wave of hardship, your sense of self expanded. It started as survival. Just do what you can to keep going. But then adversity forced you to test the boundaries of your courage, your determination, and your capacity to believe in something bigger. Before you realized it, you began discovering hidden reserves you never knew existed. This exam wasn't written in a standard format. It was scrawled across the chaos that battered your life. Each question asked, will you keep trusting, or will you let cynicism take root? Your watchers watched from above, measuring how you adapted to the strangest trials. A sudden job loss right when you barely saved any money? or an illness that left you immobilized just when you needed to act. It felt like everything conspired to bury you. And maybe you did break down a few times, crying at night, unsure if you could last another day. Yet somehow dawn found you with a flicker of grit. You rose, or maybe crawled, but still moved forward. Unseen, heaven took note. Every new step accrued spiritual credit. For a while, you might have believed that these storms exposed your weakness. If I were truly chosen, why couldn't I sail through them unscathed? That line of thinking might have birthed self-doubt. But ironically, your watchers allowed certain knots to reveal that real strength isn't about never stumbling. It's about standing back up, even when your heart is raw. Each bruise on your spirit became an emblem of perseverance. If you look closely, you see that even your worst meltdown eventually funneled you into a new layer of clarity or acceptance. As you confronted each storm, illusions about your limitations chipped away. Maybe you overcame heartbreak that once seemed fatal, or you bounced back from financial meltdown by conjuring resourcefulness from thin air. You realized fear, though potent, couldn't overshadow the unwavering spark inside you. That spark, stoked by divine watchers, taught you that you were always more capable than your darkest days suggested. Over time, that recognition grew into a quiet confidence, a sense that no matter how wild the storm, you'd find a way to keep going. Eventually, the storms lessened, or maybe you just got better at navigating them. You found that the same scenario that once crushed you had lost its power to terrify. That's precisely how you know you've outgrown illusions. The watchers tested your resilience in real time, and you responded by forging a steel spine of faith. Some may have tried to talk you out of your convictions. You're foolish to keep believing, they said, but they didn't see how each trial sharpened you from within. Now the watchers tally your final grade. You passed an intense behind-the-scenes exam, scoring high in resilience and clarity. That's why an unexpected wave of blessings is inbound. Not a calm sea, but a wave strong enough to rocket you forward, this time in a positive surge. You might sense a hush right now or subtle confirmations that bigger blessings are near. The watchers are whispering that your trials shaped your muscle for this precise moment. They never wanted to break you, only to fortify you. They see your unstoppable spirit, proven by storms, ready for an expansion that pierces the illusions you once called reality. Through the storms, you uncovered your core strength, and heaven has recognized your unstoppable grit. Chapter 3. You learn to recognize and dismantle illusions. Step by step, you awaken to illusions about your worthlessness, illusions that you had to settle for mediocrity, illusions that your past mistakes barred you from divine favor. At first, you accepted them as truths. Maybe a mentor insisted you never measure up, or heartbreak convinced you real success was for others, not you. This phase of your exam demanded that you confront such illusions directly because illusions serve as negativity's prime method to trap chosen ones in self-sabotage. Yet every heartbreak or setback forced you to see illusions for what they were. Pain can reveal the difference between what's real and what's false. If heartbreak struck, you realized your value didn't vanish when someone walked away. If you lost a job, your abilities remained intact and a better door could open at any moment. The watchers orchestrated these so-called failures to help you decode illusions, realizing your value never hinged on external events. That revelation gave you the arrow to shatter illusions in their tracks. Progress wasn't instant. Some illusions hid behind common sense, like believing you needed specific credentials or family backing to advance. The watchers tested that by withholding what you assumed was crucial, pushing you to rely on intangible gifts, intuition, creativity, and a relentless spirit. When you still prevailed, you demolished the lie that external boxes define success. True success for a chosen one emerges from divine alignment, not neat credentials. With illusions crumbling, you stood in newfound clarity. The watchers applauded because illusions are the ultimate stumbling block. Once you see through them, your ascent becomes unstoppable. If any last illusions linger, the watchers may soon arrange a test to see if you revert to old defenses or stand firm in truth. Each time you choose truth over illusions, you notch another victory. In time, illusions about love, money, or identity lost their grip. If they occasionally reappear, you simply nod. I recognize this story. It's false, and continue forward. Delusions can't endure unwavering faith. That's how you achieve the authenticity the watchers love to see. This step was vital in passing heaven's exam. The biggest tests revolve around whether illusions can coax you into a smaller life or if you'll remain rooted in truth. By separating illusions from reality, you proved your readiness for higher responsibilities requiring unwavering sincerity. Now the watchers watch with pride, certain you won't sabotage the blessings ahead. You see illusions as fleeting smoke. That's why your next wave of favor is unstoppable. Illusions no longer hijack your decisions, emotions, or destiny. Chapter 4. You freed yourself from unnecessary comparisons. At one point in your exam, you kept measuring your progress against others, those who seem to find success faster or endure fewer hardships. This habit eroded your confidence, feeding illusions that you trailed behind. Then you realized your watchers designed a distinctive path for you. Your trials and timeline belong to you alone. No one can replicate your calling, so comparing journeys was futile. Recognizing that truth became a pivotal step in heaven's grand assessment of you. It began innocently. You'd see someone enjoying a stable relationship or booming career and feel envy, concluding your watchers had overlooked you. But heartbreak and challenges hammered home the idea that each soul follows a unique blueprint. Observing others only distracted you from your mission. Over time, you shifted inward, asking, what do I truly want? How can I serve with my gifts? Each move from comparison to introspection scored a hidden victory, and the watchers noted your growing self-trust. Yes, you still slipped occasionally, scrolling social media, seeing curated images of seemingly perfect lives. You momentarily feared your watchers had neglected you, but you'd recall illusions thrive on shallow glimpses. Everyone bears unseen burdens. Letting envy pass, you reaffirmed your path's authenticity. Comparison stopped wounding you. They became fleeting thoughts instead of triggers for deep self-doubt. A welcome side effect of ditching comparisons is that you now celebrate others' successes with genuine enthusiasm. Gone is the chain of "why not me?" replaced by a recognition of cosmic abundance. This mindset, the watchers note, is mature faith, proving you see there's enough to go around. Freed from illusions of lack, you inhabit your daily life with unstoppable potential. Eventually, you realized how comparisons drained your energy. Liberated from that, you soared, creatively and spiritually. No longer did you match your timeline to a sibling's or colleagues. Instead, you heeded your watcher's unique instructions. You can admire someone's achievements without feeling diminished, taking them as proof of cosmic generosity, not as a personal indictment. Now, free of not enough, you tap deeper into the watcher's guidance, taking leaps aligned with your special blueprint. By discarding comparisons, you displayed profound trust in heaven's plan. Your watchers read this as readiness for bigger blessings. If you can ignore envy or external opinions, you can handle greater favor that might provoke jealousy in others. This marks a strong pass on your cosmic exam, confirmation that you'll remain true to your lane, regardless of how others fare. Secure in the watcher's orchestration, you accept your unstoppable wave is unstoppable precisely because it's made for you. Having proved illusions of not enough can't sabotage you, the path is clear for swift, unprecedented blessings born of unwavering self-faith. Chapter 5. You anchored your faith in the midst of the impossible. Certain parts of your hidden exam felt utterly impossible. Financial resources seemed to vanish. A key relationship collapsed at the worst time, or a health crisis threatened everything you were building. You may have prayed with trembling hands, "Dad, if you're real, I need a miracle." Yet the watchers allowed you to linger in that tension, offering no instant fix. This was a crucial test. Would you hold on to faith when all logic said give up? Real faith didn't mean ignoring harsh realities. You faced the facts head-on while believing in a higher realm's capacity to transcend them. The watchers saw you walk that tightrope, refusing to let despair consume you, yet not living in denial. Each day you murmured, "I trust the universe can shift this." If eviction loomed or heartbreak pressed in, you fought hour by hour, choosing not to let panic override the possibility of divine aid. Each time you turned from negativity to trust, The watchers counted it as progress on heaven's scoreboard. Small miracles appeared. Maybe just enough money arrived at the last moment, or a caring soul reached out when isolation grew crushing. These tiny flickers of grace sustained your weary hope, showing that chosen ones are rarely forsaken. You realized you might not receive everything on your preferred schedule, but you always got exactly what you needed to evolve. As these consistent rescues unfolded, your faith dug deeper roots. In time, you sensed the watchers were prepping you for greater tasks. Those dire moments taught you to operate in faith under near-hopeless conditions. You learned that if you can stand firm in chaos, lesser obstacles won't rattle you. You also discovered how the watchers sometimes allow a situation to escalate to forge a more durable faith, one not easily shaken. Genuine trust doesn't blossom in calm waters, but in the fiercest storms. By the end, you embodied a serene confidence that baffled onlookers. Despite outward circumstances, you carried a quiet assurance, recalling how often the watchers rescued you at the brink. This intangible posture marked another pass in heaven's exam. Believing in the impossible proved illusions of defeat could not enslave your spirit. Once illusions lose their grip, you transcend the pettiness of doubt, stepping into unstoppable territory. Now, post-crisis, you don't just hope for miracles, you practically expect them. That's not arrogance. It's alignment. The watchers see you can handle blessings without collapsing under worry. Sensing a hush before cosmic release, they nod in acknowledgement. You've anchored your faith in improvable realms, proving you're ready for unstoppable wonders. By dismantling illusions that circumstances define your destiny, your unwavering trust parted the seas around you, signaling readiness for a new dimension of favor. Chapter 6. You gained wisdom that turned you into an unshakable mentor. As you dismantled delusions, deepened faith, and resisted comparison, the watchers closely observed your growth. What you learned wasn't just for you. Your experiences now shape you into an unshakable mentor for others. People sense in you a calm authority, grounded in lived storms, not hollow platitudes. That authenticity draws them in. Later, a friend, overwhelmed by heartbreak, confided in you. Rather than sugarcoating, you offered practical guidance forged from your own trials. You recognized their illusions, empathized, and gently reframed their outlook, mirroring the watcher's style, compassionate yet firm. In that moment, you realized your transformation wasn't merely personal, but also a torch to help others see beyond their limitations. The watchers view this as the pinnacle of passing the heavenly exam. You broke illusions for yourself and can now guide others to do the same. You might not label yourself a mentor, but you respond to each seeker who appears. The watchers orchestrate these encounters, an online acquaintance, a co-worker sharing personal words flow effortlessly as if pre-written by the watchers. Every time you speak life into someone's wounded heart, you affirm your new identity. Your suffering wasn't wasted. It became the training that molded you into a catalyst for others' healing. Still, not everyone will embrace your counsel. Some cling to illusions over growth. You've learned not to force revelations, simply to stand ready for those who want transformation. Before your awakening, you might have tried to fix reluctant souls. Now you trust the watcher's timing. Those truly seeking find you. Strengthened by your sincere empathy and lived truths, this synergy amplifies your unstoppable wave. Each life you touch validates the watcher's trust, confirming you're a faithful steward of real-world wisdom. In these moments, your test results echo, reminding you how you overcame and became. Illusions, far from resenting them, you see they sharpened your practical message. People don't need lofty theories. They crave solid insights backed by experience. You deliver that in spades, the watchers fueling your words. Some observers wonder how you stay so balanced. The short answer? You faced illusions, conquered them, and built an unshakable foundation. No new wave of doubt can erode that. Thus, your unstoppable nature extends beyond personal benefit. It also uplifts others. Each time you help someone break through, the watchers pour more blessings into you, and you pass them along, expanding your sphere of influence. By demonstrating how illusions crumble when confronted, you fulfill the watcher's final goal, becoming a living example that illusions are flimsy under unwavering faith. In short, you're now a beacon, radiating unstoppable hope. Chapter 7. You realize a new path unfolds far beyond old limits. Now that your watchers have scored you favorably and illusions lie scattered, you glimpse a fresh horizon once deemed impossible. Free from comparisons, heartbreak, and limiting beliefs, you stand at a gateway. The watchers sense a shift beyond personal triumph. It's a cosmic realignment vaulting your purpose to a higher dimension. You'll attempt what your old self considered unthinkable. You notice the difference in daily life. Tasks that once stunted you now flow with ease. Bigger responsibilities and creative breakthroughs present themselves. You find yourself tackling what used to intimidate you. People from your past may be startled by your transformation. The watchers are not. They orchestrated these expansions, waiting for you to prove unwavering integrity and trust. Now that you have, doors previously sealed fly open. Expect nudges toward relocation, career shifts, or leadership roles beyond your imagination. Having proved your readiness, you're assigned bigger missions, impacting communities, bridging divides, shaping narratives. Although enormous, these challenges are just another expression of the unstoppable wave you've become. You overcame illusions, grew spiritually, refined empathy, and found unshakable faith. Now you simply bring those lessons to new frontiers. Some in your circle might warn you about overreaching, but you're no longer reliant on their validation. You hold wisdom from the watchers, aligning each heart prompt with divine confirmation. If the watchers say go, you trust them. If illusions try to come back, you quell them with calm conviction. I beat this before. I'll do it again. Freed from illusions, your spirit is agile, ready to pivot with each directive from above. This new path demands fresh faith. Greater possibilities carry unknowns, but you recall that the watchers never offer a test you can't pass, especially after you've aced their toughest exam. Each rung you climb invites you to refine your unstoppable essence further. If heartbreak or doubt resurfaces, you quickly dismantle it. An undercurrent of excitement reminds you. Your destiny no longer answers to old markers of success or failure. The watchers guide you to stay open-hearted, for new collaborators and allies may appear. In synergy, you'll accomplish feats that defy logic, proving illusions powerless against a chosen soul aligned with God's plan. So you stand as one who's graduated from heaven's biggest exam, stepping onto a path vast enough to awe and humble you. You know illusions can't touch a heart tested by trials, a mind awakened, and a spirit joined in unwavering harmony with the divine watchers. From here, nothing is truly impossible. Day by day, you discover fresh facets of your unstoppable wave, forging miracles in your wake. Indeed, you didn't realize it then, but you do now. You've passed heaven's ultimate trial, rewarded by a boundless horizon, lit by the unstoppable glow of your proven faith.